Hello everyone. I was not able to stream on Tuesday because it was just a little hard for me. And I was getting actually kind of sick. Um, so that's fine. It's fine. I wasn't able to do that much on Tuesday, which is really frustrating because I don't have a lot of time, right? We have 4 weeks left, and I'm just not close. I'm not close to being done with what I want to do. Um, Also, I lost the city I was building in because that was way out there. It was a level 2 city, so one of the main cities. So it was really good to have uh, all the features available because I'm at level 2 there's going to be an inner wall and an outer wall. At level 1 we'll have just like an outer wall or maybe just an inner wall. I forget, but I was wanting to explore all of that, do all of that in that city, and I died because as I was flying around and I just pressed O by accident and I fell and I wasn't I didn't know that I hit O, so I just crashed into the ground and died, and I was like, well, that's not good. But it's okay, that happens. What I really really want to do, because I think it will just make this city stand out compared to like anything else, anyone else's mod, is if I get like a dynamic bridge system up and running. Now I don't even know if that's possible to do a dynamic bridge, but like if in my city I just have a river flowing through it like this, I want to be able to have a bridge start here and end there. Now, this is going to be probably a very naive way of working at first because I don't know, if it's going to work for all heights, all depths. I don't know if this land mass is starting high and that one's low, like how to get it over. I have no idea how any of this is going to work. And I don't know like if this is going to be absolutely just massive in the code base. So like this node editor file is already huge, and I'm having issues dealing with it. Um, I'm trying to fit it all in here. I mean, it's not that big comparatively, but like I don't want to start building. I could build way over here, and that's fine. But I just would like to create individual files for this, which I think I talked about last time. I learned that they're adding that. They're going to be doing that in the future, creating more of these. Oh, no. Yeah, they did. They did. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. They added a bunch of stuff, prop distribution and props. Okay, that's nice. So they did add some more, which is cool. All right. That was my request. I put them. I did this on the what's it called? On the Discord. There's a modding Discord that I joined maybe a week or two ago. And so I've been asking them these questions. They finally did it. So maybe we can do that today because that would be really nice. I feel so much better being able to create individual files for all these, and just kind of it just separates things in my mind better as well. It's like having a bunch of notes on your on paper, but the notes are completely scrambled, and it just takes forever to find stuff. If I can just separate this, it would feel better, it looks better, and I don't have to worry about searching through all of these different little nodes all the time. So maybe we can do that today. What do we have on here? I made more lists. So on Tuesday, I've come to the point where when I feel overwhelmed, I feel like things just aren't working well, and it's almost like depressed, right? I almost feel depressed sometimes because I only have 4 weeks and I'm not done. I'm not close to being done, and I really want this to be part of like a portfolio for them to look at when they think about hiring people, and I want them to I want to be hired. I want to work for this company. It'd be really fun. Um, and so the fact that I feel such a time pressure, especially when I don't get anything done. I I have to make the most out of these 3 to 4 hours that I'm given on Tuesdays and Thursdays to do as much as I can. And accomplished nothing on Tuesday. I just kind of went into a circle and it felt awful. It felt so bad. So let's see what do we have here. Um, so I have intersection. No, so all these X's are the ones I did. I was able to do lists. So yeah, maybe that I did not even say my point for the whole thing. I felt depressed, and I've come to the point where when I get depressed or when I feel useless and overwhelmed, I just go, all right, what are all the steps I need to do next in order to get this done, right? Because at the very least, I can try to organize what I need to do. And so I need to finish the RCI building index for buildings. RCI indexing for buildings, and create a variety of layouts for interesting city designs. And then also just so you can to conform to WorldGen, possible solution is to break down roads into smaller sections. So I have this position field for the roads. I have this. I have these north to west streets and these north to west, no, north to south streets and east to west streets, and they're all kind of they all have their own position field every 100. They're 100 by 100. Um, Maybe I should show you. They're at every midpoint here, and they skip each other 100 by 100 by 100, and then the east to west are like this going this way. Or actually these are north to south, but yeah. So every 100 blocks they put another road down. And I think that's good. But when I place down the props, what I can do is that instead of just placing a prop, I create another position field where I just now do every like 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just kind of loop it in within that one prop placement. So I place a prop and then I go and I loop through it, and this will help me conform the prop to the land more. I'll be able to make better props, or better, yeah, I think I'll be able to do this more cleanly. Furthermore, I don't know how to do this like dynamically. I don't want to make too many checks for the dynamic placement. So basically what I mean by dynamic placement is if I have two things of height difference, right? So here and here, there's some height difference. I want to place staircases there. That's it. I just want to place staircases there. There's no way to check this in the pattern. Yes, there is, isn't there? Isn't there a gap? Can I do a gap here? All right, let's look real fast. Is there a pattern for, yes, I can just check emptiness, huh? I can just check emptiness. But is this going to be too expensive? The scanner would be, I think, kind of cheap. Actually, maybe it could be cheap. The thing is, I'm going to be scanning like a lot. Like every 4 blocks, I'm going to be scanning. And I don't want to do that. I want to try to make this kind of streamlined. So I don't want to take too much computation, right, to do this. I think having a scanner go for all these small props, like every 4 blocks is going to be prop, and checking all of these, height differences will just be so expensive. So I want to come up with a more streamlined solution. And the one I'm thinking of is just creating a single scanner or check on these intersections. Can I do this in an intersection? Right now I have it all broken up, right? I have it going from east to west, north to south, and then these intersections. If I can kind of combine them all, so I check the intersection, and what I want to do with the intersection is that I'm going to, at this intersection, I'm going to check for a couple things at all these points. So first I'm going to jump to this one. I'll check probably the density field of this one. And I want to check for a height difference and gaps. So the height difference will be helpful in determining if I need staircases. Okay. So if first I'll check if there's a gap. If there's no gap, I don't know how to do that though too. Because I think with the gaps here, let's look at this. Patterns, it's in the gap here for patterns. I think that I can only check up or down or an anchor. I don't know if I can check that dynamically, like dynamically meaning use the depth up and down as a variable itself. I think it's just a set amount that I need to check by. So because my thought is if there is a gap between two parts, um, then that means there's going to be some kind of bridge that I can make. However, now that I'm thinking about it, let's actually draw some pictures, right? I don't know how this gap system works yet. Where's my mouse? There it is. Um, it just says, validates if presented with a gap. In this context, a gap is some sort of space between two anchors. You must define the space's valid material type with the gap pattern parameter and the anchor's valid material types with the anchor pattern parameter. So it's going to check for anchors, which is just some kind of material type. So I can put what's it called, like this cobble as the anchor type, and so these should both be cobble. These intersections should both be cobble. So it will check for those anchors, see them, and then the gap size is measured in blocks and represents the distance between the two anchors. The anchor size is also measured in blocks and represents the size of the wall that is checked when validating the anchors. You can use the depth up and depth down parameters to ensure that there's enough space under and or above the gap's origin. The diagram below shows underlying structure of the gap pattern. Angle between z-axis north-south and the gap, okay. Below is a block build of the diagram above to show the blocks that a typical gap pattern would check. The gray blocks would be checked by the gap pattern, and the black blocks would be checked by the anchor pattern. Setting an anchor roughness higher than 0 allows non-flat walls to validate as anchors. I think that's what I want, because if I have, for example, over here, I want this to be an anchor, so a bridge can start here and end over there. What do the angles represent? Okay. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I need to check for anchors here and here. So if I check an anchor here and I check for an anchor here, then this pattern, it's not going to work, I don't think, because it needs to, well, can I just trigger it on water, right? So if it sees any water like 10 blocks down, then it needs to place a bridge. But I don't also want to place it from these two anchor points, right? I don't want to place one over here, way the heck over here, and way over here. I want to place one as close to the water as possible. I just don't want to check for all these anchor points all the time. That seems like it could be really expensive. Um, I need to check some points. So like, all right, how can we do this? Um, all right, let's see if we can make a few files first. Yeah, file, or should I just do a new one? Asset node editor. We're going to do a prop distribution. Should we do prop distributions first? Where's the other one? This is a prop distribution, right? I could try to get all of it out of here right now. That could be useful. So we don't have to deal with this, all this other stuff. I just need to make sure that anything I'm using in here is already, like city positions, I believe is in another file, is in the density file, so I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, I'm importing city positions and city POI from this. So that should be okay, I think. All right, so let's try to copy and paste this. Let's see first. Let's copy here. This is a prop distribution, so we're gonna go paste. Okay, everything's here. We're gonna make this the root node. Set selected node as root. Do I need to set as export? No, I think we're good here. So we're gonna do road wall distribution. And then we're going to just, oof. Well, we already saved it. So if we delete this, it should be fine because we can just copy paste it back in here if we need to. Import. And this one. Okay. Now I need to save as a prop distribution, probably. Like this is assignments. These are densities. I'm going to create my own folder now for prop distribution. So we're going to do we're going to create a folder called prop distributions. Prop distributions. Open that up. Oh shoot. Save as prop distributions. Save as road wall distributions. Okay, so we have all that saved. This is saved. Let's create a viewport and see if this. Whoa, what is that? Look at that. They have updated this. Let's do 5. But wait, so I saved this and I saved this. Interesting way all that's changing. However, yeah, the prop distribution, it didn't go. Like the blocks are deleted. Okay, that's not the greatest thing to have happen just now. So why? Road wall distribution, that's what I saved it as, right? Yeah, I wonder if there is some kind of prop distribution um some kind of exporting one, because I know there is export density, right? Allows the density field as a single instance. Enabling the single instance on this node ensures all importers share the same logic. I don't know if that's working. Or maybe is it just because the city positions aren't there? Do I have to import those? It should be fine though. Oh no. Oh, I wonder if I don't have ground check building check. I bet that's what it is too. Um, so where's should I find search? I wonder if I can find nodes that are ground check. All right, so I don't, so you can't search for the names here, but all right, that's kind of stinks. But that's probably what's just wrong is that I have this. Oh, here's ground check. Building check I don't have. Building check is a different thing entirely. Get rid of this finder. Building check is something I did here. I bet that's all that's wrong. I need to now do, where's my building check? Right there. And delete this, paste that. We're gonna just create another building check. Now we'll save it. Hopefully that's okay. No, no, it doesn't look like it like that at all. Well, that's probably one of the things that was wrong with it. It just didn't fix everything. The ground check here is something we already had. Did we import anything else that is incorrect? I wonder if it doesn't like the city positions. How else do I import it? Ground check I made here. The locator the scanner prop I just or the scanner node I just built right here with building check. So all these should be fine now. So just double check. Yeah, okay. And then city POI density. I mean, I imported that here, right? City POI density, but I feel like I have another import somewhere here. So let's do another find. Import imported density. City POI density. Okay, like that's one of the ones I did import. Um, wonder what's causing the problem. Control F. Does it just not like a union prop? And that should be. Can't imagine. It's not giving me an error. You know, I saved this on both sides, and there's no errors that are thrown. Yep, reloaded biome assets for both. Um, you can now drag all the way back here. Imported prop. 0. Road wall distribution. This is road wall distribution. I export it as this. Let's see. Do I have it here? Let's get rid of this one. I have my prop distributions, road wall distributions. I wonder if the file setup would affect it. I can't imagine it would. Wow, this one file is 105 kilobytes. That's crazy. Does not seem like this should be 105 kilobytes with this stuff, but this is not too bad. I export as intersection points. That shouldn't matter too. See positions. All right, let's keep looking. CPU density. I mean, we are getting none of these. So first of all, let's do some tests to see if it's even working. We're going to union this with some kind of constant. We're not going to import any of these. We're just going to create something of our own. We'll do it's at 100 by 100. So this should be the same place as the intersections, I think. Not quite sure. Let's just do 100, 100. Um, and then we're going to do some kind of cuboid. So that way we get to see, we're going to see some large cuboid 0, 0, 0, sure. And then, I don't know, 10, 10, 10. Be a big cube. And this is going to be made of dirt. So, or grass. Let's do grass. I know that grass actually worked. I'm not sure if the other one worked. All right, so now that we saved that, let's see if it just places that down. I did do this right, all right? So cuboid prop, scale the positions at 1. Oh, I need to offset this too, because this is being done at the bottom of the world. And I don't want it to be done at the bottom of the world. We're going to offset this by like, I don't know, 100y. No, 100, 110y. So that way we can see them. Do I need to save my game? So we saved this. Do we need to save this now? Maybe that will make a difference. Now it reloaded that with the new prop distribution. So we should have some dirt block somewhere. Which we don't. I think this is correct though for the, we don't need to have a scanner. We don't need to have a locator, I don't think. We're just saying, hey, place this prop at every one of these points, right? This assumes to pair with a prop. Yeah, I think this should work. Maybe it's just too low still. Let's do 120. And so that way we are doing grid at 100 by 100. Let's do 50 by 50. Make sure we can really see it at 120. And the cuboid is going to be 10. Well, let's do like 20, 20, 20 now. Really make sure that we can see this thing. And soil grass is an actual type. So we save that. Save this. So if this doesn't work, then it's likely that our union or the import team is not functioning. Because we should see a bunch of floating soil blocks now. And they're not here. So that's an issue. I don't think the importing is working. I wonder where I would need to place this. Does it say? Could it be assignments then? Let's change assignments. Or let's change this. Or not, we don't need to cancel, we'll just cancel that. But then assignments, let's do, here I have city, street assignments. Okay, I do need to go back, copy. Oops. Biomes, no biomes. Assignment, city, place. We can delete that one. All right. Does that work? Oop, assignments, yeah. So it doesn't like assignments, it being in the assignment folder. So I don't even think I need that anymore. This is prop distributions. So maybe maybe it's the folder setup that that's wrong. Um, this is a prop distribution. Am I spelling it correctly? Prop distributions. It is just a one. There's no S here. I wonder if that will make a difference. Save. Uh-oh. Okay. Um, let's open it up and because I changed the file. Oh no. All right, let's go here, here, users, this one, app data, roaming, Hytale. And nope, user data, saves, creation, mods, net realm, server, Hytale generator, prop distribution, this one open. Okay. Save. Save. Reloaded assets. Give me my floating cubes. No, floating cubes are not here. So I changed the file or folder name, prop distribution, like that is what this is called, prop distribution. Okay. Oh, but you see, like it's the folder for this one is called biomes. And yet here it's a biome workspace, so it shouldn't have mattered that much. Prop distribution, yeah, it shouldn't have mattered. Um, let's I'll change it afterwards because now that we know it doesn't matter, I can change it back. But is this still not following it? Assignments. Do I need to have some other kind of um hmm is this not right? I mean this should be fine too, right? We should just see a bunch of floating dirt. I mean, aren't we at 120? Oh wait. This is 120, huh? This is 120, so we should see a bunch of dirt here at this level. I didn't realize it was this low. Maybe I can move it up, even though I still don't see any. So like at this level, I don't see any dirt, so it's kind of busted. Still busted. Um, constant prop distribution, right? And then we have our positions, which are here. And then we moved it up there. Filled it with some soil, constant material, cuboid prop. Like, I don't understand. This is... So does it not like the union? So if I do this, and then we make this the root node, okay, okay, save, save. Nope. No, it didn't change anything again. All right. Dang. So it's not the union prop distribution. It's not this kind of constant. It's literally just not finding it, I guess. I'll have to ask these people. Um, let's go on. Say hi. Or I'll just use it on my phone so that way we don't have to expose anything on here. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna use Discord on my phone to go to the Hytale modding. Um, I hate to ask questions that were already asked, but I wonder, or maybe it's on the website. Maybe they already updated here. So is there a way to see? Do they have anything here? NPC documentation? No. Established information, server client gameplay, server code client, developer Q&A technical insights, assignment density. I mean, can we just go to positions? No, prop distributions. Um, nope. Interactions, args, entities. No, okay, so let's ask this question. How do we want to ask? Is there a certain do files, does the file structure matter for creating individual prop distribution files? Do they need to be somewhere specific? All right, well, while I wait for a response from the Discord, if anyone's able to help me there, let's say I want comment section up just in case. Let's just keep looking. Let's see if I can get this to work because this is something technical. I don't want to waste too much time doing it, but it is something that I think needs to be done, which is to create all the individual files for this. So until then, I wonder what we can do to check for bridges. Like, can we just try to do bridges right now? So where are intersections? Intersections are done very specifically at these intersection points, I'm calling them, which is 100 by 100 and they've been offset 50 by 50. So let's just copy this, just copy paste this into our realms test, and we're just going to delete this for now and retry this as constant prop distribution, and we're going to do based as this. We're not going to call it intersection points, we're just going to call it like this. All right, so now we should get we should get points now. At these parts, right? This is where I was placing the cuboids before. This is where I'll get these things next. All right, so let's see if we can get gaps or understand how gaps work. So we're going to do props. We're going to do a locator prop first because we need to make sure we locate a place for bridges, right? That's what the locator does. It says, oh, this is a place that's suitable for a bridge. So what we need to do is have a scanner. The scanner, though, like, how am I going to check for a scanner, right? The intersection itself, because what we need to do is have a gap pattern, right? This is what we want, the gap pattern. Where's the gap? Deprecated gap. Oh my gosh, it's deprecated. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's see how everything's now different. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Is there a different way to do this now? Um, if a scanner is scanning only a very small part of the world, that might not be too expensive. But I need to scan the length of this section, right? So maybe they deprecated the gap pattern because they're trying to, it was too expensive. Um, because we do have a bunch more linear scanners that not only are more powerful, I think, or more customizable, they are able to be combined with each other. So I can have, for example, a linear scanner that will start from here and goes across, right? And that scanner can, let's try that. Let's do a linear scanner. We're gonna, instead of scanning on the y-axis, we're gonna scan on the, what axis is this? This is north to south, which is, I believe, the Z. Z. Okay, it is north to south is Z. So let's scan on the Z. And then what we're going to do is range. How far do we want to check, or how far are we going to check this linear scanner, right? I want to check probably all 100 blocks, right, as I go across. So, and technically, what I want to do in order to minimize the number of scans, a bridge works both ways, right? A path works both ways. So technically, I only need to do half of these checks because if I check from this point to this point, and I say, hey, I need a bridge here, or hey, we need some staircases, that's the same as me checking here and going in this direction. So really, if I just check the, let's say this is east and north. So if I check north and east for every one of these intersections, every other intersection will also check north and east, and this point will check north and east. So like it's all gonna be covered. Should be covered because technically, um, if this point is outside of the city range, then a no bridge is gonna be built here. The southern and western sides of some points might get missed if there's no um, if there's no point there. That's okay. We'll just do this way for now because I think it would be more efficient. So we'll just take the north and east of each point, which, oh no. Technically, this intersection's right here. Oh goodness. I made a big mistake. So this bridge is not gonna even work right here because my intersection's way too short. It's only gonna check this. It's gonna say, "Hey, I'm underwater. I don't even have any cobble here." Oh wait, but we're not doing the gaps, right? But I'm only checking the 100, right? So I'm doing a linear scanner, and the linear scanner is only checking right here, and it's going to just stop. Shoot. Oh no, shoot. So I have another possible solution here. Um, which is I create a bunch of prefab bridges instead of trying to make them dynamic. You make it partially dynamic. So I make like a bridge that's 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 90, some number of blocks. I try to make a bunch of bridges and I just scan to see how long of a bridge we need. All right, so all of these points here. Oh, and this is really bad. This is really, really bad because now what am I gonna do for this part, right? There does need to be a maximum bridge size, but let's say, all right, so here's what I just saw. Let me fully flesh out the thoughts in my head in order for everyone else to understand. So let's say I build a bridge here, and just like how we're having an issue with these points, I do a linear scanner uh, from here over to here, or maybe even from here to here. I just check somehow I build a bridge across this side, right? What happens if there is a landmass right here that also wants to build a bridge across there? I'm going to have two bridges that overlap each other. That's not great. So am I going to have to redo how I check for bridges entirely? What kind of checks do I need to do to see what bridges I need to make, or where to build them, I should say. All right, let's see. Let's see if anyone responded to my files request. Nope, not yet. Oh wait, I implemented an erosion filter. Is that actually eroding things? Or is it just kind of creating a new noise? I'm just looking. There's somebody posted something on Discord about an erosion filter, which is cool, but I think it actually changes it in ways that may not be how erosion would work. It looks like they just kind of put a noise filter on it, a very, specific one, which is still cool. I mean, it adds a lot of texture to it, but yeah, okay. Like basically, anytime you have, unless they're calculating the actual slope of it, they're not really doing erosion. Um, because I see some parts that are higher in the after picture than they are in the before picture, and that wouldn't make sense. But it also depends on the material you're working with. So if you really want to get technical, erosion will happen in places, of course, where the material is more prone to erosion. So like sandstone erodes away faster than granite, I believe, and so you'll have chunks of sandstone missing or chunks, empty spaces where sandstone was compared to the granite. Um, so erosion is very complicated, but it looks good. But yeah, there's nothing there yet. Um, all right, there's nothing there yet. So should I just try to do a naive bridge builder first, just to see if I can even do it? Or should I not waste my time right now? Because if it doesn't look good at the end, right? If I come up with these issues later and it's just not looking nice, then it's not something I want to pursue. What's the distance between here too? All right, like if I build a bridge here, how far is this bridge? 90 blocks. It's a 100-block bridge. 100-block bridge could be a lot, huh? But not too much. Not like if you look at these structures here, having a bridge across this river seems doable. It seems like that would be doable for this kind of civilization. Doesn't seem out of place. Um, but I need to do my checks different, right? Like all of this is underwater, so eventually I'll make sure that this isn't placing this cobblestone here. It'll just go up to the shoreline, and then I need to somehow check for this. So maybe I can just do maybe there's several steps for the linear scanner, right? Let's do it like this. Let's do a linear scanner that from the point that just goes off and checks for water, right? As soon as it hits water, it will do another linear scanner. I can have a child linear scanner in there. And that linear scanner will go across to check how far or how wide this river is, right? And that will put maybe, I wonder if I can put down some kind of um block or some other series. How do I want to organize my thoughts? Like first I go through and check all the placements of possible bridge locations. And then I go and I filter out ones that don't need to be placed because they're too close to other bridges. And then I place the bridges afterwards. Right? All right, well, let's see this first. Let's go scanner. Um, so I get to this point. I'm doing a scanner immediately. Like, what's the direction of this? Or is it 0 to 100 in the positive direction? So it's only positive. If so, And the z-axis is this one. So I'll be going this way. Okay. Um, let's go from here then. Since it is, we'll just do it in the directions that they allow us here. Z-axis is 100 in this direction. So I check. And then I do what? An origin scanner? No, I just check for a pattern, right? Yeah, because here's the child one, right? So I do 100, and then over the course of this 100, I check for a couple things. I start right here. I'm doing a linear scanner where though, right? Because I have this going at these positions, but not, this is at the origin, or rather at like y equals 0. I need to increase that y, right? Um, it does, I do need to probably do a man, where, I wish I could place this down somewhere specific. Where can I place this scanner? So I only need to scan this once. I want to do it right at the surface, right? Right at where the roads are. Can I find that out? I wonder if this position field, mm, discards the percentage that, no, it's the percentage, right? Occurrence is not, limits the positions to a bounded region. The bounds is, yeah, it's a 3D point, not, the field function is one. It's like a bound, but only by the field, right? So if I do these, if I do a 3D version of this, now that won't work. I don't want to do a radial one, right? Because a radial one is really expensive if I do combine it with the linear one. Oh, I don't need, I can't even combine it with the linear one. I just want to do right at the surface. How can I pinpoint that spot? Now, I could do, is there a way to create positions that are at the ground sky boundary? I mean, technically, you can just do a field function that has 3D points, right? With this y being pretty close, like maybe 2 or 3 for the scalar. So that way it's making a bunch of points at every layer of every, every 3y or so. And then you just cut out all the ones that are not at the density field of 0, roughly, of the terrain. So here we do have terrain. We can try this. Let's try this. Um, First, let's see if this is even working. It should be working. I don't see why it wouldn't. So we're gonna do bounds. We're gonna do. Oh, we need to offset this too, right? Oops. Come on. Offset by like 140, and then we're just gonna do that and that. Okay, like 10, 10, 10, 10. And then the material will be soil, grass. There we go. All right. So that is working fine. Now, or you know what, instead of deleting that, let's just make these smaller, like 3 by 3 by 3. And then we want to do, we don't want to do any offsets. We're going to go just like this. But instead of a 2D square grid, we're going to do a 3D square grid. But now instead of that as well, we're going to do a field function. These are the positions, and the density field is going to be the terrain. And the delimiters will be from like, I really don't know how much this is going to be. So let's do like negative 0.01 to 0.01. Let's see if we get anything at all. I am already going to see issues with how this is implemented because the boundary around the what is it called? Oh, and it doesn't work for caves. It won't work for caves. Dang. Because all right, let's just go through this. Yeah, that's the surface here, and it's gonna go from a +1 actually to -1 up here, and you're gonna have, a bunch of numbers, 0.9, 0.8, 0.1. And you could have something very steep as what I just drew. And here it's gonna be 0 at the border, or negative, negative. But you could have something very steep where it goes from 0.8 to 0.1 to 0. Or even just like 0.5 to negative 0.5, and there's just a block here. So like literally one block is negative 0.5, one block is 0, and one block is 0.5. And so there's not a lot of wiggle room around here. And you're gonna be taking like none of these points, right? Because this is just too small of a gap between them. Or you can have something very, very smooth where it's going to be like negative 0.05. Wow, I just Can't. All right, there we go. Negative 0.04. Negative 0.02. Right? And then you have positive 0.02. Positive 0.04. And so this really smooth one, if I make this too tiny, like if it was 0.05 to 0.5, now it's going to include all of these blocks. And I'm going to be having, 5 different intersections all be placed around here, which is not great. That's not what I want. We're just going to try this for now. Let's see what happens. In fact, I got nothing. This is the correct spot, right? Yeah, So this is now too small of a gap, right? So I need to increase this to like 0.1 and 0.1. It just got rid of all the positions. Yeah, and now it's doing how many? 3. It's 3 blocks tall instead of just the one that I want. See, and that's the issue we're going to have if we do it this way. It does give us a very precise area of the surface, right? Because as you can see, those blocks are a little bit taller or they're higher up, but we still get those 3. And they get those 3, and we get those 3 on the surface there. They're at their respective Y level. And then we get those that are down here. Because it's cutting off everything above or below. So this is close to the surface, and that will eliminate a lot of the scanning that we have to do. Now, the thing is that we don't need to keep all of these points, right? This is just a scanner. Really, what I'm trying to do is create a bunch of checks for the scanners, the points at which we're scanning. I don't necessarily need to be placing... Wait, do I? Yeah, I will be placing it though. Okay. So it's kind of working. Oh wait, this is a 3 by 3. Oh, hey, look. Let's do a 1 by 1 by 1. I was silly. This might be actually be fine for this kind of terrain generator. Again, depending on the terrain generator though, it might mess up. But we do get a 1 by 1 block now. So that's good. So this is working okay for this. So let's work on the scanner now. Okay. So we have our scanner. It's going to be checking the z-axis at 100 length to see what are we looking for along here. We're going to be checking to see if there's any water or air. I want this to work for cliffs as well. The problem is that we are going to guarantee to get air if there's any kind of dip in the terrain. So we don't want just air, right? As we check along, we should do probably a scan of blocks below the scan, right? Because this is the ground level. We know this is the ground level. So as we move across this axis, we want to check anything below. How far below? If we check it, oh, and here actually I can divide it up very specifically. This might be expensive though. I don't know how expensive it is. We can probably do some testing later to really test to see how expensive this function would be. But we can probably test 1 block across. 2 blocks across, 3 blocks across, because that will allow me to then also place those staircase props, right? So if there is only one gap, a one gap. Oh, wait. But where do we want to place those staircases, right? Ideally, it would be where the terrain is actually all jagged, right? However, a lot of this terrain is going to be kind of jagged itself. All right, let me back up. So, because I'm placing all these props are actually going to have larger foundations, and I'm probably going to use up all of this space around here. Like all of this stuff won't be green. Since it's a city, it's likely all going to be grass. I mean, cobble. It's all going to be cobble around it. Um, so I'm going to need to redo a lot of the block or these props in order to make sure that they fit in the space that's provided to them. But yeah, a lot of this will be cobble, and they're gonna place a foundation for themselves that is the size of their area. So like this is going to be cobble all the way up to here probably. And then this one over here, if it has a prop placed here, then it's going to get rid of this jaggedness too. And in fact, it's probably going to put all of this at this height level because this is where the prop is going to be placed. So it's going to cut this out. So really, it probably doesn't matter where our staircase happens. I don't think. Or maybe our pattern can be chunky. Yeah, chunky might be better. So what kind of scanner am I looking for? Or what kind of checks am I looking for? What kind of pattern am I looking for? I want a pattern that, if it's a chunky pattern, it can look like this. And if it finds any air blocks, it's just going to place a prop with a staircase going down. Oh, but the pattern does need to be specific, huh? Because the staircase is directional. Of course, like I can't place a prop going up this way when it's going down. Oh, okay. All right, what about a linear scanner? Let's just think about the linear scanner again. So as I go through here, I'll be checking, should I be checking another linear scanner going down? So should I do just bridges first? Hmm. I think I do want to check just for bridges first, rather than doing this. Worried about these staircases. So I'm gonna go across, and what should the pattern look like though, right? How can I generalize this pattern? Because also these 100 blocks are only gonna stop right here. Hmm. I wonder if so let's just check to see if we need a bridge or possibly need a bridge, right? So this we'll just check to see a possible bridge. We're gonna do to the this is also to the pattern's origin. Ooh, okay. Oh, interesting. So if I do so when I'm scanning though, I thought I'm scanning the pattern, right? Defines what a valid location looks like. Scans relative to the anchor for valid locations. Okay. So the scanner defines the cuboid region relative to the pattern's origin. No, I think that's right. I think it's going to the cuboid at every point on the scanner. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. The region is anchored by min-max. Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what we want. And we're just gonna check the see if we need any kind of um, basically this is the gap check. This is my gap hack now that they got rid of that one, which maybe that's fine because this might be more efficient. So it's going to go along the linear scanner. It's going to check to see if there is water anywhere along that, right? So let's see if it does do that. Max, min. I think the max is max on the y, so I think this has to be the negative part. So this is going to be 0, 0, 0, and we're just going to go down and check. Um, we'll check 5 deep, -5, right? So basically, we're going to check down, going down 5 blocks. And if that pattern, what's that sub pattern mean? Sub pattern. Oh, this is just a block type, right? This just means, yeah, we're going to go through those 4 and we're going to check for an OR. And that OR is block type. Checks against the blocks. Checks if the block's material belongs to a block set. I think we're just doing this one and then this one. Either empty or water, right? Or if it's water, which I believe is being set right here. See how far away this is? We can bring it so much closer now. Okay. I think it's water source for fluid. There we go. So if it's this or this, then I want you to be placing another cuboid prop. This one will be something else though. Um, 2 by 2 by 2 of what? Soil pathway. Sounds good to me. So if I understand what's going to happen is it's going to check across here, or actually maybe this way. And if it sees, it's going to scan it. If it sees water, it's going to place a block. So in fact, there should be a pathway block placed here. Yeah, there should be a pathway block placed there. Uh-oh. I guess not. A placement cap of 1. Let's do like a placement cap of 10 or something. I don't know. Maybe that's affecting it. Huh. Okay. We know this works, and we know that I can place props, so that means it must be our patterns or something. So if it's empty or if there's a water source, right? But I think it has to check for all of them. So for everything across, if it fails one time, does that mean it's having an issue? So let's add the grass soil for this too. Or let's make this smaller. Let's just do like -1. And so that way, this one actually might be the only one that's okay. Yeah. Oh, wait, look at that. But did you see that? It's placing a 2 by 2 by 2 block. 2 by 2 by 2. Okay. But it did do it across the entire thing. Okay. Interesting. It started from here and went across because it saw it had water. So for every scan, so it went here and saw that it had water, placed it. Here, saw that it had water, placed it, right? And then it kept doing that. That's not exactly what I want. I just want a single check across that. I wonder why I didn't like this one though. It stopped right here. Why didn't it keep going? Like this doesn't make too much sense because it should just place it right across. Like I'm not quite sure why it would stop here. I did say 100. Is it just the range that's being affected? Maybe if I do 100, if I do 200, is it gonna really mess up now? What's gonna happen here? See, nothing changed. Oh no, it went from here now too. Because that one is started to get to it or something. 100 blocks, because these are 100 blocks, so they should have been in there from the beginning. I see. So, yeah, but then if I do this as -5, it's going to want this or this for the entire thing. And it's going to see dirt or other things, and it won't like it if I do -5. So all of these should be gone now. It's going to check way down there, and it's going to, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, out. Hmm. Oh yeah, there's another thing I was thinking of. What if I create a scanner that goes around the lake or the river? Right? What if I check these blocks? What if these are the valid placement blocks? So it would need to cross over between this point. Uh, I don't know if that would be good actually. Oh wait, is that new or is that gone? Well, that stayed. That seems weird why that would stay. That's only 100, right? So it has to be coming from this point. And from here, it saw air or water 5 blocks down. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. This wasn't deep enough. I get it now. I get it. So where it was deep, where it's only 5 blocks of air or water exclusively, it places those. Yeah, of course, of course. So I need to really think about the pattern here of what I want. Because all I'm looking for, I don't really care if there's dirt below this. I only care if there is water or air below this, but specifically water. Air, if it's an air gap, it has to be much, much deeper for it to care, right? If there was no water here, it would make sense for buildings to build straight across here, right? Only because it's water, I need to build a bridge. So maybe I don't need to do this with the air. If we'll do separate check for air. So the pattern here, and it's going to check at every block. So every time it moves across the scanner, it's placing a prop here up to 10 times. That's the limit. That's why it was only doing 10 times. I see. Um, I got it. I see. I see. And as soon as it hits this 10, it's not gonna do the locator prop anymore either. That makes sense. So how do I do this with like a single check? No, go away. I wonder if there's a way to check. Hmm. Like I mentioned before, instead of making dynamic bridges, which this seems a lot more possible with what I realized that the linear scanner can do, and what I'm doing here with this. Um, if I just do a prefab of a bridge, then all I need to do is just check distances across, right? So when I get to this part right here, I just go, okay, or maybe I'll check a cube, right? And if that cube contains some water, then I know that I should start a bridge, possibly start a bridge. So as soon as I hit some water, that would be the scanner, and then I wonder when the child scanner to run for every block scanned by this scanner. Okay. So maybe I don't want a linear scanner here. Because it's checking every single block. Or maybe I do. I just want to check 3x3s. It's checking every single block, right? Is there a way to like offset this or something? Like instead of checking every single block. Yeah, you can only have one range, so I can't like do skips or anything. What I was thinking or hoping for is to after this locator prop, do a second locator prop, right? So it will scan for any water. Should I scan for any water? Yeah, let's see if we can scan for any water. How do I scan for any water? Because I think what this is going to do is saying I have to have only water in these sections. So instead of doing that, is there a different pattern? I don't know if this is going to be expensive or not, but maybe I can do a scanner within a scanner. Because if I do a linear scanner here, going across, and then I do another scanner to go down 3 blocks or 5 blocks. And the pattern would be very simple then. It would just be a single water source block, right? So now we're checking Y, and we're going to go down min of -5 to 1. That sounds fine. Let's see if this works. And then we're going to place a prop anytime this triggers. So it should trigger over all the water blocks, right? Oh yeah, that's because it's only hitting once, huh? If I do 10 though, it's gonna hit 10 times. It'll go da 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 da. Yep. And now it's fast. Did you see I placed all of them instantly? Okay. If I do 30, should be all the way over there, yeah? Yep. Oh, and it even made things underwater because it scanned twice. I see. I see. At every scan point, it's going to place this thing. Even the child scanners, of course, of course. So I do want to scan as little as possible then, right? Yeah, okay. So I just need it one time. And I think this is good though. As soon as I hit a water block, I'm going to change up my scanners, right? So it's just going to go along here. And as soon as it smacks into water, it's going to check something else. So now we're going to do something else. We're going to do another locator prop. Okay. So this is going to go across. Now, obviously, I don't want this actually to trigger because this is not at the right spot. So in fact, what I want is that I want there to be as it goes across and checks the side, right? I want this to go check, 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 check. And as soon as it hits land to water, right? As soon as it hits land to water. So, in fact, we don't want that. We want an offset with an and where these two go together. In fact, this is offset. So offset, and we're checking the z-axis, and I think we're checking the positive z-axis, so that means we need to check one more ahead. And if we see this block type, right? Block type, right? It's block type. Yeah, block type. One ahead. When we are seeing some cobble, right? Some rock, stone, cobble. As soon as we see this, we're going to now go into another locator prop. And the second locator prop is going to be the far shore, right? The other side of the what's it called? Of the river. So as soon as it hits here, now it has to do the same thing but hit land. That's actually really easy. So yeah, it's the same exact thing, but it's hitting land. However, when do I know it's hit the other side? Like, how far? Can I measure that? I don't think I can. Because yeah, this is the same exact thing, just in reverse. So it's going to be now I'm checking, I hit water, and now I'm going to go check for land. So it's the same thing, but this is now reversed. We are checking that we are water, and the one block ahead is going to be cobble. Okay. So all that is there. Then, once we've made those checks, all right, I've located that we are hitting this and that within 100 blocks, we have hit land. Where within 100 blocks? I don't know. Right, because here also as we nest our locators, we're moving our origin, right? So we came and we hit here. Here we have checked for, or we're starting another scanner, right? So here we start another scanner until we go across here. Now I think this is where our current origin is for the next prop, because this is now saying I found the what's it called? The other side of the shore. So now we have this one, but we don't know how the distance, do we? So if we say, hey, I found the two sides of the water, or the two sides of the shore, I just don't know their distance. How can I find their distance if I don't know? So any functions here that are capable of doing that? I don't think I can. However, I do think I can do something. I think I can create an entirely dynamic bridge now. So what we can do now is we just go, now that we're starting here, we can go backwards. We can just do another scanner, and we scan that if we're one block, or how do we do this? I think we're right here. So what we need to do is create like the bridge starting, right? So we place down, we do more locators essentially. Or we do a union now, right? Yeah, we'll do a union. Because now we have the two sides of the shore. We're going to do a union. The union is that there's going to be, the first one is going to be another locator prop. The locator prop is going to simply make a scan of this area to, well, to, how do we do this? This is our origin now. Or do I want to offset this now, right? Do I offset this up by 3 so I can get it off of the water? Yeah, I think I need to offset this by 3. So let's offset this. And let's offset this up by 3 up the water. Now we're doing a placement cap here of just 1. We're going to scan the area and make and place a cuboid. Starting here, we're going to check what kind of scan am I doing for? What am I locating? I don't think I'm locating anything. Am I locating anything here? Um, I don't think I need to locate anything, do I? Yeah, I think we're okay here. We're just gonna build a manual, or we'll do another union. Okay. This union is going to be composed of several cuboids. Okay. The first cuboid is going to be, we're offset 3 now though, right? We're offset 3 up into the air from here. So 1, this is surface 1, 2. So we're gonna have bounds. We're gonna just start here, I think. We're good here. We're just going to now do 0. In the x direction, we're gonna do -1 and 0, 0 to +1. And that's going to give us, and we're going to use stairs. We're going to use cobble stairs. Stone cobble stairs. Rock, stone, cobble stairs. Yep. There we go. Rock, stone, cobble, stair. It's not stairs, right? Stair. It is stairs. Stairs. Okay, rock, stone, cobble, stairs. So we're gonna have that. So that's gonna be the top one. Okay. That should be our current position. Now we're going to need, we're going to go 1 down. So that was 0, 1. We're gonna offset at 3, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. So we need to go 1 down over with another cuboid. Or why don't I do it like this here? Let's do, I'm gonna need 3 or 2 blocks tall of cobble and 1 block tall of cobble, and then staircases along those sides. So here we just actually do the same thing. We just need to offset and offset 2 times. And the offset is going to be minus 1 for y and minus 1 for z, I believe. And then offset again for, this will be minus 2, minus 2. 1 down, yeah, and then 2 down, 2 over, yes. So that should be good there. And then we're going to do this same exact thing. This cuboid prop, how about we'll just call it stair prop. So that way I don't need to like copy paste this over and over again, yeah? Okay. Okay. So we got that. The union, we are able to make this. Now, should I test it? Should I just test it to see if it actually works? I don't, this is the moment that I'm dreading to see if it breaks or it doesn't even work. It didn't go. Oh, it didn't go. It didn't go. Ah. Ah. All right, well, let's check these locator props one at a time now. I was so excited. I was hoping it would just be able to like one-shot it, but nope, never happens, huh? All right, so let's do the first one. Let's see if this union also works first. So we're gonna move this over. We're going to kill that, and then we're just gonna drag this all the way over. Okay, so now this should be a check to see if we hit water. So it should do it right here, right? Oh, it's not? That's frustrating. Okay, so the linear scanner here is just that we're checking. Is it minus 1z? Maybe it's minus 1z. We're checking the cobble, and then we're checking to see if we hit water. Wait a second. This is positive z, right? This is positive z. I made a mistake again. No, it should be 1. We're going. All right, so I think I've made a few errors here. Let me readjust this. Oops. I'm going to change this to the offset prop to make sure it's like floating up in the air when we do meet this. When we are doing this, we're checking all these spots, and those spots they go at z. I mean, we've already checked this multiple times. This should be fine. So this is an and pattern of rock, stone, cobble, and we hit a water source. Now let's check both of these to make sure if this is hitting it. We'll do positive 1z and then a negative 1z. And let's make this viewpoint smaller so we can check like instantly. All right, so it's only gonna check around here. So if that didn't work, how about -1? Let's see which side this is on. Are you getting it? Maybe we should check this one. This might be easier since both sides are on. They're not in the water. All right, viewport, radius, 3 here. All right, so clearly we're not getting this hit on the scanner. Or, yeah, on the pattern. Because if so, I don't think this should be messed up, my offset pattern here. Rock, stone, cobble, stairs should be right. Rock, stone, cobble, stairs. Rock, stone, cobble, stairs. Yeah, that should be fine. The balance is -1 to 1 on the X. My balance all messed up for the staircases? Did it just not like this? No, I mean, it looks like it should work. Let's just add a regular cuboid without any strangeness going on, just to see if it's those staircases. Material will be static, a constant material of a block of a material, and then we're gonna go soil, grass. Yeah, so it definitely is like the scanner. Is this correct? Rockstone cobble. Rockstone cobble. Rockstone cobble. So I'm checking the z-axis and I'm checking and going positively, right? So if I start here and I go across, is my radius just not big enough? Let's do viewport radius 5 or something. That should be big enough. But yeah, if not, we should include this point now. So it goes out, it goes 100, it goes a positive 100, so it goes out, text. Oh, look at that. See what happened? It dipped down. So all this is air. It's only hitting air. So how do I do this? How do I check? It's going out 100. Do I need to check a cube now? Yeah, if I just go, if it's not empty, that will work. So let me check that. So I'll check a cuboid. We'll start here. We're gonna go out. We're gonna say a cuboid down. If it's not empty, we're okay. And then if it's not empty and then it hits water. But that water block now is a little bit more complicated because I need it to be, if it contains, if it's has water in it, but it doesn't have to be all water, right? It could be as long as it has one block of water. That's all I want to say. Okay. All right. So this is a little bit more complicated. Um, because the linear scanner is only doing one block. We want to do a cuboid now. So we're going to do a cuboid. And the cuboid is going to check for a not empty pattern. As long as it's not empty, we're going to keep going. And the max here is 0, 0, 0. The min is going to be negative, let's go like negative 3, negative 4, 5. Let's do negative 5. Sure. All right, and then we're going to need an and here though. Okay. So as long as the cuboid is not empty, it has something in it, that means there's a path or there's dirt or something. Uh, then what's going to happen is, so it's not empty. Then we're also checking the next space over. Is that also, it has to also be a cuboid, right? It has to be almost the same. Now we're checking, all right, so as long as there's something, as long as there's something, as long as there's something, and then the next one over, it's gonna check, okay, now is there water, but not exclusively water, right? So what's the cuboid one do again? Cuboid defines a cuboid region relative to the pattern's origin. The region is anchored by the min-max points. This is similar to the shape of a selection. Yes, the subpattern is tested against every position in the cuboid. The cuboid validates only if all the inner positions are validated by the subpattern. All right. I only want to make sure it goes if there is water. One of them needs to be water. So I still need to check the cuboid pattern, right? Because I need to check all of them, right? I can't just check the top one. I need to check everything below. And when it checks below, I'm saying there has to be at least one block of water. So air is fine, basically if it's not empty, but with one block of water. How do I do this? At least one block of water. How do I do at least with these patterns? What if I do that? But this will only validate if all of these are surfaces, so that's no way. That's no way, because it needs to be... Or how about that then? How about I just do this? There is, some dirt or cobble here, some path, and then it's going to hit as soon as it hits a surface of water. I don't really care about that surface, but the surface, it needs to check all of these. So yeah, okay. So this might be better with a double scanner, huh? Because this has no this doesn't have any kind of depth to it, the surface pattern. So there's no way to actually check that. So yeah, let's just do it like this. Let's go scanner. I do need that though back. But we don't need a cuboid though anymore. So that makes it a little bit simpler. We're just going to say if it's not empty, and the one next to it, offset, right here. Actually, no. I don't even need to do a surface, right? Yeah, this works. But we can actually change this to cobble now too. We can do back to cobble, rock, stone, cobble. And now we just do another linear scanner down. Y, scanner. No, we don't need another scanner. Range, -5. Okay. And then we're gonna place a bunch of staircases. So this should hit now. Boom. Except, can I do this with +1? What? Still hit there? Where are these scanners originating from? So it doesn't matter if I do -1 or 1? Oh wait, it did change. Yeah. No, actually that makes sense, right? Because if it starts here, it goes across, and no, 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 no. It's no, it has to be, right? Because the origin is the cobble. So if this is the cobble, it's going positive z, which is that way. So it's saying, oh, wait. But it would have hit this already, right? If it was going from this side, it would have seen this and placed these down. But it didn't. It has to be going from this way, right? Because this is the very first instance where it goes cobble to water. And why is this stairs? Why is this grass? Oh, that's because I changed that. Okay. Thank you. Just to check if it was working. Seems to be working. All right, so if we hit one side of the short, like what if we do this again? Right? What if we do this again? How expensive is this gonna be? I'm really worried about this and whether or not it even works. Will this reverse it now? Oh, hey, look at that. Interesting. It didn't move it. Let's go back though. Minus 100, right? So we gotta go minus 100 to 0. Will that do it? What? Wait, what? Let's reverse these two. Will that reverse it? I'm kind of stumped on how to get this linear scanner to start. The locator prop will be starting from these origins, right? Does this locator prop start from the same location? It's not like I thought the origin might change. Maybe that's my problem, is that this origin isn't changing. Okay, so it's just doing this. It's checking this and then placing a prop. Not at this origin, but it's going back to this one, huh? So let's yeah, because adding this did nothing, right? So if I did 0 to 100, 0 to 100, right? Everything is exactly the same. Nothing changes. How do I test this? How do I test this that the origin is not changing? Or do I need a root? How do I root? Is there some kind of... No, there's no root for this one. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, I need to offset this one. I bet if I offset this one by minus 100, right? Because here I'm going along. So let's draw a little grid. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going along checking to see if I hit water. When I hit water, I'm hoping that this is when I hit water. I find a location, right? Let's say this is my river, and I'm walking along here. I hit this part here, right? I don't know if there's a shore within reach. I can check that by now. Should I be doing 200? How far? Because this could be, the river could be anywhere within 0 to 100 here. All right, how big of a bridge do I want? If I have my grid lines like this. All right. This means that there is a maximum of 100. But as we noticed here, if this is in the middle, this thing can still be 100. The river can still be within 100, but if I check here, it's not going to find the other end of the river. So how do I check to make sure the river is 100 blocks across max? I really wish I can start another scanner from here. you I mean that's what I'm doing here, this linear scan of this child one, but the child one will happen at every point. What I want to do is like when this triggers, when this locator scanner finds something, I want a new scanner to start. That would be ideal. I wonder if you can do that from this origin, but I can't. Because that's what I was hoping to do with this. Right, that was the whole point of this. But I can't. Okay. Maybe I can just check one block, right? So as I check here, I'm just checking one extra block, and that block is not water. That seems fine. I mean, it would make problems if we have like a landmass in here and then a second river. It sometimes it'd be cool to have like two bridges across. And then if this block checks and it hits another block 100 blocks across, that's water. It's gonna say don't build a bridge. So maybe I can check two blocks, 50 and 100. So I can try that. Let's see, I'm going to do and, which is checking all of this. If I find water here, so this is that, and then this is the shore, and then I gotta check if there is some land on the other side, right? Oh wait, oh my gosh, that's supposed to be not. Okay. Well, is that an issue? Maybe this is what I was having an issue with, because this is supposed to be cobble. Um, let's re look at this. Wow, okay. So, wow. Let's think about this again from before. Let's not do this. Let's do this. Let's see if this is going to work. So here, if we hit cobble and then hit the thing. Okay, so here we go. So this is starting to make more sense of what actually happened. Because I was doing not cobble, which is not what we want. As soon as we hit here, why do we place our thing way over there though? Because we were looking down 5, right? We're going across, going across. Like, why didn't it trigger here? As soon as we get to this block, that is cobble. And when we look one more ahead, we looking one more ahead. I think we're looking, yeah, we should be looking one more ahead. Should be the positive direction. We look one more ahead and we should see water on the z-axis, right? That is z. Yep, that's the z. And we should hit water. How come? How come we waited until all the way over here? Why do we wait that long? I am unsure. I don't know what's going on. Why waited so long? Because this is the starting point. It should be going out and hitting negative, goes down -5 blocks. And it's just checking, hey, is there cobble? There's cobble, and then that's air, and so no other ones are cobble cobble. So it doesn't say yes to any of it, but as soon as it hits here, it should be cobbled water, which is what I want. And then it places some of them there. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can do this properly too. I want a -1 to 1, and we went. What if I do zeros? Is that fine? No, it doesn't like zeros, huh? So we will do 1 and 1. What? Okay, 1 1, I guess. I thought the 1 1s were okay before, or the 0 zeros were okay before. Didn't seem to like that though. It doesn't like it anymore at all. What? Why doesn't it like this? 0 0 0 to 1 1 1. -1. So it should go here, right? Okay. All right, finally it's doing what I wanted to do. All right, so let's do -2, and that will be only 4 blocks across at 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Why is it only 4 blocks across? Because to me this should be 5, but maybe one is the ord. No, I don't know. Oh, whoa, 3. Okay. So this is 1, -1. Or rather, this is 1, -1, -2, and then 2 and 3. 3, 2, 1, -1. That seems weird, but okay. Um, I bet if we do 1, 1, it won't. Will it change? Will it put one below, or will it be fine? Or will it delete, it'll delete all of them because it's saying it's the same block. Or yeah, it wants a to and from, right? If it's saying to and from is the same, then it can't place anything. Okay, sure. So the stairs are kind of working. We just need to rotate them, which is fine. Actually, does this have a... No, it doesn't. Need to do a rotator prop on them, which is fine. A rotator on each as well. Um, all right. So, it's going out. Is it placing more than this? It wouldn't make sense to do it, but I just wanted to double check. Yeah, looks like it's fine. Okay. So this is only hitting once. Oh wait, it only is supposed to hit once, right? Because yeah. Okay. All right. So why is this not going at the right spot? What if I hit like Z is like 10? What is it going to place it way over here now? Which way does it move? That's a good question. It's not moving at all. It didn't move at all. Huh. So even though it's checking 10 blocks ahead instead of 1, it moved the same. So also note that this is happening right here where there is still a gap. It's going down a step. Which should happen right here. Going down a step. What if I check -10? Okay. Got rid of it. And nothing happened when I did 5, right? I think I did try 5 already. This gap is probably 10, 16. But it deleted it itself when it got to 10. So that is different. Is this 10 from the shore? It's 14 from the shore. Why is it placing it there? It should be checking this pattern for every instance across this. What if we only do like 20? The 0 to 20 should be there, right? This is actually probably a good test. There's 46, while this is only 14. So let's do 30. It should come online around 60. I'll just try that right now. 60. There it goes. So it is going from here, which is actually what we want, right? We want it, I was thinking it would be in the positive direction, so that's good. So it comes and it hits this spot. I just don't know why it hits this spot. That's what doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. Ah. All right, well, I have no idea why it's doing this, but maybe if maybe we can just test this out anyway. We're doing this. We're going to delete this one and paste this. Hopefully what will happen now, I really hope that the origin's going to change here, but if it doesn't, that's okay. We're going to just test it now. So as soon as it finds this spot, we're now going to go to the next prop underneath the child prop, right? It will trigger this. So this gets triggered. Now at this origin, I hope it's not this one. We'll find out right now though. But basically, I now need to travel across again until we see the opposite happen. And a negative one spot, right? So now we're going to go travel, travel, travel across. And then as soon as we hit oh, no, you know what? This is fine. As soon as we hit the stone on our block, and there's water behind us, right? And there's water behind us, that's when we know we've reached the shore. And then it will place the staircases there, I hope. So hopefully these staircases move to this side. Awesome. Awesome. But now let's try another thing though. That this is only like 20. Because if this is starting from this origin again, what's going to happen is that it will get stuck right here and it won't be able to place this prop. But if it's 20, it's going to go from here and jump there. And we'll know for sure. So it's reloaded. Let's see, it should happen within the next few seconds if it disappears or not. Please do not disappear. Please do not disappear. Okay. making progress. But I just don't know why this is still so low. Why is this happening here and not at the shorelines? It just thinks this is the shoreline. This and this are the shorelines. Why? Why? It should say that if I am cobble, and the one in front of me is water. I am cobble, the one in front of me is water. Why does it take this long to go? And also, this is, how deep is this? This is only 3 blocks. We're starting from that position. We should be starting from that position too, right? Like, we can easily check that too. We can just go union here and place manual prop position is fine, and the material will be just grass. So this will indicate where exactly our positions are in that sense. We should have one pop up right here. This should be our grass location. There we go. Okay. So this is where we're checking from. This is the origin, right? And then we're scanning from this spot. So yeah, this is going across. As it goes across, it will check here, and then it will scan down. And then it will scan down, right? Okay. It did place one here, not there. So I am starting one higher than I thought I was, but that shouldn't matter, right? Unless that does change the distance of this, right? 3, 4, yeah, this is 4. So like 5 is still down there. So it's not going all the way down to the bottom and checking if they're all water. Because even if it did that, it would hit these as being not water. So that's can't be it. Can it? No, because yeah, all of these would need to be cobble. If so, what I'm thinking is if this linear scanner is saying I apply this to all of them in order for it to trigger, it would need to be all 5. All 5 would need to be cobble, and all 5 would need to be water, which is not the case. That's not what's happening here. It's just a single block. It's just that block at the linear scanner, checking to see if it's cobble, and the one in front if it's water. That's all it's doing. That's all that should be doing. But I don't understand why it's not doing it at the surface here. It should be placing these staircases here. These should be the staircases, not way down here. My offset here for y equals 3 should be fine, because that's also up here. So it is saying like, okay, at this block level, right, because I did 3, so this is 1, 2, 3. So I moved it 3 blocks up. But I only went 2 blocks down, so in fact it is right here. So this, it is right here that got triggered, right? This is the triggering block. And it's saying, hey, I am cobble, and I have water source behind me. Yeah, that's correct. In fact, I don't even need to check this. This should work even if I don't check anything, because as soon as it hits this, it's just gonna go straight across, right? But just because, like, if this shoreline was a little bit higher, see, if I do this right here, oh wait, of course it's not gonna change it. It's gonna go, it'll still work because these blocks are gonna be gone. But if I do this and I don't check for things above and below, ooh, then like I won't be able to connect shorelines that are not of the same height, right? All right, that those two would not connect, and I would like them to connect. I think, right? Even if they're not exactly the same, it should be good to connect them. So maybe I do want to do this a little differently. Maybe I should check a giant kind of cuboid. Hmm. But if I do that kind of scanner, how is that going to work? If I check this, if I check a cross section essentially, right? If I look at all these blocks and I check this giant cuboid, what am I looking for? I'm just want to see if any one of these. Oh, okay. If any one of these is my what's it called? My type, my pathing type, which is going to be the cobble, and the next one is water, right? If that's true for any of these, then we know that a bridge is coming, or a bridge should come, maybe come. So yeah, okay, let's do a cuboid. So let's not do this scanner. We'll just do this 100. I think I have a new way of doing this. And it's already 12:20. Oh, crud. All right. That's okay. We have a pattern. The pattern is going to be this. This will be the and. It's just going to check to see if I am cobble. We're doing a cuboid. And now the sub pattern is checking, hey, but this is only gonna be true if all of them are like this, right? That's what it's saying. I remember the cuboid saying that. I just wanted to check all these. I don't want it to say if any one of these is true. Dang, 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 dang. The cuboid is if all of them are like this. What kind of operator am I working with, right? Because I want a cuboid. I don't know if I can do that, huh? This is, yeah, maybe that's just not what I'm looking for. I want to check this giant 5x5, like a big wall, a cross section of the wall. And I want to say if any one of those points is my road cobble, and then the ones next to it is a water source. Do I just need to do a giant offset? I feel like the cuboid works for that, but cuboid only works if it works for every single point. I want the same check to happen, but if one of them lights up, it lights up the whole cuboid, right? I want the whole cuboid to say, yes, this works. Hmm. What if I think about it in the opposite way? What if I do a cuboid pattern and I'm checking if there is no water. If there is no water, it will light up. But I don't want that, right? So I'm checking, let's do that. Let's do a cuboid. We're gonna do a knot. We're knotting this. I feel clever. Okay. So the sub pattern here, we're gonna go from um, -2 to 2. We're going from negative 2 to 2. And then the Z though, we don't want the Z to, we only want to check one block. Is it the 0 then? Is it 0 or is it 1? I'm not quite sure. So I hope this works. We'll see what happens because this is going to be a check. All right, so then on each one of these cuboids, we're checking to see if the one I'm at is rock stone, or now do I need to check this whole 5 by 5 or can I just check this one? Right? If I just check the middle one, I think that'll be the easiest because it, yeah, we'll just check the one. So we don't need to check the huge area. We'll just do we'll just check this spot. So -2 to 2. I don't know if we need that z as x and z. We're just going to be doing these 5 blocks. Let's see if this even works. And then we're going to check to see if it is rock or cobble, or or okay, or if it's empty. Oops. Block type, and that block type is material, and now it's empty. Right, so if it's this or this, and the one next to it in front is also this or this. Right? So now we're making just a few checks, each of the blocks, and it's saying, and if it lights up, so we're checking these 5 blocks, and if it lights up, that means there's not water. We want water, right? Although, of course, this is going to be bad if there's other materials, like if there's different kinds of stones. I can mess it up. We really should just check for water. I really should just try to check for water. I don't know how to do this, though, for water. Because the cuboid's only gonna light up if every block in the subpattern will light up, right? And I just want it to say, yeah, no. Oh, no. Okay, wait. I mean, I don't see how this is any more expensive than just checking if there's water in front of us, right? Yeah, I don't, yeah, let's just do a bunch of offsets. We'll do it or with like 5 offsets. Now the problem here though is, okay, now that I've gotten rid of this linear scanner, I'm not gonna always go down to exactly where the shoreline is. This is what this is the problem. I want to go to where the shoreline is, but the shoreline, if it's a cliff edge, even if it's a minor cliff edge, like even if it's just like 2 blocks up, I want to be able to start my bridge here, knowing that there's water. Yeah. How do I know where this is? I think it might be better to wait until we do this. So first, you just check to see if there's water. That's probably the fastest thing to do, right? Let's get the fast things out of the way. So it immediately just goes across the line. If there's no water, done, you're done. You don't need to worry about that, right? So yeah, let's do that. Then we'll worry about the placement of the bridge. Or so we're just gonna offset this like 3 times. How far down and up do we want to go though? Water check. Right? The offset is just gonna be, it's gonna be a little bit big, huh? The pattern is just a block type of water source. Right? And then the offset, this one is going to be, we can, as we go across the origin, like we don't know if this is going to be down or below. I think we should check below more than above because generally you go down to the shoreline, not up, right? Not often will you have land below the shoreline. It can happen though, just not as much. So we'll check like we'll check 2 above and then go to 3 below. No, we'll check 1 above and then 3 below. All right, and then we'll just copy paste this. Maybe I can delete this. Actually, I should recommend that an OR cuboid. Right now, cuboid is like an AND function. I wonder if we can do an OR cuboid. 1, and then we'll do 0, and we'll do -1, -1, -2, -3, and -4. Sounds good. So if there is water anywhere below the surface. Like this is not going to be great because we could have water way down here and we just scan it and be like, no, no, no water. This one comes back up. So if there's like a valley with water at the bottom, we're not going to be building any kind of bridge across. Um, I think we'll need to up our checks to do that. Um, but for now, let's just try this, right? We're going to try this. This is going to be the water check. Okay. So we go across, we hit the water, and then we check for a shoreline to make sure that the shoreline is within our reach as well. This linear check is starting at the no, it's not. It's starting at the same height, right? Because yeah, it's starting at the same height. So then we'll do our land check now too. So land. Oops, this is water check. I just need to copy paste this, huh? Copy paste. I mean, I could just do a not water, but that seems like it would be really rare if, you know, there's just a waterfall happens right there, and then it tries to build a bridge across over the waterfall. Because the not water basically means that air is okay too. And so if this just turns into air, that's bad. We do want to have land, not just air. But it's so rare. I don't think it would be much of a check anyway to bother. So let's just do this ore here. And we'll just check for our pathing again, because this is supposed to be a city. So we'll check for our Um, do we have one? Yeah, right here, rockstone cobble. I'll just copy paste this. What? No, I said this. This one. Okay. So now we're checking for those. Hopefully this will still print something, but like it will be actually right here now. No, it just gets rid of all of it. What's going on there? Does it actually see this though? Let's see if it actually sees this. We're just gonna check. We're gonna place a cube right where there should be water. So it should place a cube right here. There we go. That's weird. Again, this is definitely starting from this side. 100%. There's no way it can be anything else because literally it's checking to see if there's any water that's offset on the Y, not on the Z at all. So it's starting from here and it's going this way. I don't understand why. But okay. So it went to there. And then, so as soon as it did that, it should keep going. Now it says, okay, I found this, do this next thing. This next thing says, keep going in that direction. But instead of, oh, water check, we're doing land check. And that land check is going to be checking for a rockstone cobble or at any of these points. Really? It should be not water. It should be just not water. What am I doing? Wait, no, that's what we said. That's what I said before, and I said it was so rare that there could be air. Um, land check. Yeah, let's just do rockstone cobble. The problem though is that look it's gonna hit right here. It's gonna check this, it's gonna see the rockstone cobble, and it's gonna be fine with it. But yeah, no, we need to do just not. Let's do an not imported. Not water check. Again, we'll just check this to see this works. So it's going to hit the water, going to check now, and going to go across until it checks the land and should place it right here. It didn't place it there though. Why? It doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it want to do the water? It should be saying, okay, now look for a time when I don't see any water, right? It's doing the offset, it's checking all of these blocks for water, 5 blocks in a row. And it's going water, 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 found some water, hit that. Now it's going here, now it's checking again and going across. And it should find here, at this point, it's all land, or there's no water in those 5 block. in those 5 blocks, and it should hit, and it should place it. Let's just see if it actually hits it again. So it should now place it at like the second block right here. Because it goes water and then it hits water again immediately. No, it still just hit the water. Why? Because it's checking that point. It's checking the point it's on, right? The Z. So it's not moving the Z at all. If we were to offset this water check by a little bit, offset the water check by -5. Is it -5 this way or -5 this way? I'm not sure. We'll find out. I'll just do -5. If it doesn't move, doesn't seem to be moving. Oh, no, it went over there. Okay. And so, yeah. It disappeared entirely. It goes and it hits this. It says it found water. And now it's going to go again until it finds water, which it should do. But it's also adding 5 to it now. What? I am confused. Why did it just disappear? Now the water check. It should keep going in the same direction, right? The z-axis, 0 to 100. What if I do -100 to 0? Let's not mess with this. So it's going along, it hits there. Will it pop back up at all? So now what do I do if I change this to a knot? that breaks my brain. Oh, do you know what though? I have not told it to do only these points, huh? No, no. It's only checking in the positive Z, right? So this one should be checking this way. It should not be checking this way. So this one is definitely triggering and it's going this way. But this is so confusing because if I am checking the Z-axis up to 100, I imagine it would be going in the positive direction, right? This is positive Z. South is positive Z. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing positive Z. However, when I go to this locator prop, and I did it without this one, right? If I just go straight to here, if I just put this straight to that one, it's gonna say as soon as I hit the water, if it was going this way, it would be right there. But it's not, it's there. Which means the first instance it comes into contact with water means it's this one. This is the one it's going, which is not positive, it's negative. This is negative Z. So even though I'm going from 0 to 100 on the Z-axis, it seems to be going in the negative direction. Right. Okay. So now here comes even more confusion. Because if I now do check for shoreline, right? If this is going in the negative direction, right? Sure, that's established. It will go here, stop. And then it should go, okay, I want you to continue with this locator prop for, if this was 0 to 100, in the same direction, right? 0 to 100, that should be the same direction. So it should go this way until it finds no water. It doesn't. It breaks. It doesn't like that. But if I change it to negative 100, so that should be this direction, but it's not that direction. It's this direction because then it freaking works. And it pops it up right there. Right where it should be. Boop. Oh man. That's nuts. Okay. I think I figured it out, but that doesn't make any sense to me. We're not going to argue with it though. We're just going to say, we're just going to nod and close our eyes. All right, so now we have the soil, or now we have these things. So this one should pop up some stairs right here. Okay. We need to rotate those stairs. And then we'll just build a bridge across. So we union that. I know a union seems kind of weird, but that's okay because these three things are together as one. That's how I'm imagining it. These are the staircases. They need to be the staircases right there. In fact, this isn't done, yeah, because now I need to also do the bridge itself, but that's okay. So now with the bridge, we have to do like we have to figure out we've now located, so here's the bridge, and we've located the shoreline. We're saying, okay, this is within 100, we can make a bridge across it. Okay, so now let's start to make a bridge. I'm getting, it's so late. I probably should go. I don't think I have anything else to do though today. This could be it. So maybe I'll just keep going for another, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. See if we can finish this stuff. But um we now need to do like a offset locator. Should like, I want it to be symmetrical, as symmetrical as possible, but I still don't know the distance between these shores. I don't know if I can find the distance between the shores. I just know that this bridge is possible now. Okay, this bridge is possible. I have a valid location for a bridge. How do I find these? I need to locate these. I like the idea of using the word locator for the prop locator. So the first prop in the list that generates and skips the rest. I think that's going to be very useful in this, because I probably want to queue up a couple things, right? Like I should probably queue up a locator prop, so saying that maybe I can give it very specific amounts, so I can locate, hey, now I have the, now I know I can build one. Let's see how long it needs to be. So I can do locate 60, locate 40, or no, no, no. What does it says specifically to? It says that generates. So yeah, if it doesn't generate, then it do nothing. Um, it likely needs to be another locator, right? I need to do more scanning of the environment in order to place a bridge. Because I want to know how many of these, how many like pillars, how many I don't know what they're called. I can't think of the word to place, so that way it doesn't, in it has the support beams. How many of those do I need to place? If I do it every 20 blocks, like I don't want to do it every 20 blocks, because if it's 50 blocks wide, it's going to be 20 and 20, and then there's going to be 10 there, right? I want it to be 20 and 20, like equally divided, right? It needs to look pretty. But not only that, just how bridges work, they need to be symmetrical. Unsymmetrical bridges are problematic. Has to be a symmetrical bridge. Uh-oh. That one got a couple blocks on it, huh? That's problematic. And that's because of this one. I really need to figure out a different way of doing that. Oh well. So, is it gonna be a string and more strings of locators? So I've located a valid bridge location. Now I need to locate pillar placement. There's no way just to cut it in half, right? Oh, this is slightly annoying now. Hmm. And the scanners do I have? Linear, radial. Oops. So if again I start from here, I could. How can I? How can you do that? I can't do a radial one, right? That is. It's just. How can I find the midpoint? Is it possible to find the midpoint? I'm so glad that I did this though. Like I'm really I feel like I've done a lot today in the sense of coding. You know, I still have a lot of assets to make, of course, for the city itself, but this is one of these features I think that will really make it stand out. I think bridges and cities go well together. Um, because a city it needs these rivers, I think, and being able to have a city on top of a river with bridges would just really make it pop. If you just had a flatlands like how I've been doing and making a city and just plopping a city on flatlands, it's not nearly as cool as if you already have bridges inside the city. There's just something about it, something that demonstrates that it's like a civilization, that is a city where people are living and building and using their area. Um, and I feel really close. I mean, I can just do this naively. There's no issue. Um, like I said, I can just build straight across and just offset some towers. Like that would actually be easy. Then I can locate the bottom. So you can just go across, right? And you just um, build, and then every, I don't know, 10 or 20, you just place, you offset. Um, I wonder if you can do another position of positional props like offset mask weighted density selector union prefab density prop. I mean, you could probably do a density prop and then just do a noise, right? Or not a position cell noise, because then you can do positions here now, right? So that's pretty easy. Oh, this is a material though. This ends the chain. So once you do a density prop, it completely ends it. That's not what you want to do here. Um, because what you want to do is you want to just be like, hey, uh, we want to offset like 3 times, 4 times, but you just need to know how many times you're offsetting, and then you build your platform, and then you just build some pillars down, and the pillars can actually be built by a locator as well. So you just you do another linear scanner, and you do the linear scanner and you say if it is air or water, build, and you just keep building down like 20 times. You do the locator prop like 20 times or 30 times until you hit um, not that, and then you stop when you hit the ground. I wonder if there's a different way to do that too. That would be it would be so much better. Is it when you're going across, you do a linear scanner down. You once you hit it, it just stops it and then builds everything up until that point. That would be really convenient. What was my suggestion to them before too? Before I forgot what I wanted to say to them now. Um, what they should be implementing here. Dang, because I thought that was a good one. Oh, a cuboid that's a not, or an or cuboid instead of an and cuboid. Yeah, I don't know how to do this with the creating of symmetrical pillars now. I now need to make maybe just a series of radial, a series of radial checks. Because if I get a series of radial checks, like if I check, that seems like a lot of checks, man. That's an incredibly large amount of checks. Because if I do, let's say I was thinking like, let's say we get a radius and we just a radial check and we just check a bunch of radiuses across. I'll need to do it for every size though, right? So it'd be like, all right, check here, 10, and if there is land on both sides, both ends of those, then that's the midpoint, right? But I have to check here and then here. Every 10 points we move over and check again. And that's, a lot of checks. And if it's bigger than 10 wide, then I'll need to do the same thing with 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. And it's just that would be a lot of checks to do. So there, hopefully there's a different way here. What if I go across? All right, but the thing is now I also, because I don't know how long it is, I don't know how far to go back. So I have no idea how long to build the bridge back. Maybe I can do this staircase. We'll call it a staircase. Staircase prop. What if I union that with this one here? Oops. The union prop. It will only trigger once, but it will should trigger both of these. Because it's triggering the union, which is the union of this and this. So I should get another set of staircases on this side. Should get both. Come on. Oh, wow. No? Oh, I did water check. Why did it do water check? I thought I copy pasted this. There we go. Alright, should get staircases here and that side. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Why is it like that? Oh, that's because I didn't increase this by that. I need to offset it. Will that offset work though? I think what I need to do actually is check the water check. Offset that by 1. I want I want to make sure I check it, um, and make sure that the location is still above the water. I think this will help a lot in determining, um, is it? I don't even know. We'll do -1 and see what happens. Hopefully this now goes to like right here. Yeah, as long as as long as that's above the water, that's good. Um, because I want to make sure that that is above the water, since the water level should be equal regardless of what's on here, right? So if I was mentioning before, if there's like a cliffs or just even a little bit taller land area on one side of the shore than the other, it might get messed up. However, if both the staircases, we're doing the water check on here, the water is going to be equal on both sides. So that is good. We just need to make sure we check or make sure we get this bridge tall enough that it hits the land on either side. That we're not doing any kind of overlap with the land. We want to make sure it hits it. Again, I just don't know what to do about these pillars in the middle. How do I make sure that I get a symmetrical bridge? So what I can do actually is do this whole queue thing. And what I do is I queue whichever pattern hits first. Yeah, okay, I think I know how to do that now. And we'll know if we'll do multiples of 20. We'll have to just do certain sizes of bridges. I think that will work and that will be fine. So we'll check like 20, 40, 50, 60. So this bridge, when it will trigger on a 60 bridge. So we're gonna go 10 blocks off on both sides. Is that okay? Oof. Um, Maybe I should just do 20, 40, 10, 10 blocks is good. Let's do 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay. So we're just going to do a bunch of checks. All of these are going to be exactly the same. We're just going to queue them up. Now, this one is the starting spot, so I think it's okay to keep it. Although I don't necessarily want it to always start here. I feel like I need to check to see if it is the length of it first. Because once we get the length of it, then we'll know where our midpoint is automatically, right? Once we have the length. So this, though, will generate our starting point. We'll know where to start with using this. And then where our endpoint is will be a bunch of other checks. where we change, yeah, where we check a bunch of these. So we're going to do a Q, Q, and we will check all of these. And we're just going to do the first one that builds, so we'll go small to big. And we're going to check, this is the offset. We're just going to say this is the staircase prop bridge prop. Yeah. Because the bridge prop's going to change depending, yeah. Actually, we don't even need this right here. Because this prop is going to change depending on the size. I'm going to redraw it every time, I think. There probably could be modular things I could do with that. So maybe it'll be different. But we'll cue the prop. We'll cue a locator. We're going to go down this thing 10 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Now let's just try that for now. See what happens. Okay, we're going to queue this up. We're going to go this one, this one, this one. I mean, it just got like a lot longer because now we have a lot more checks. We're actually checking, in order to get to 100, we're checking what? Wow, this is a lot of checks. This is stupid. I don't know how else to do this though. So we're gonna do 10 minus 20 minus 30 minus 40. Oops. Minus 50 minus 60 minus 70. Of course, like I just said, we'll need to change, but I want to check this just to see. Let's actually do a cuboid and kind of yeah, we'll just import it, yeah. Bridge prop. Although I only need it for 50. Make sure that it is going into the 50. But there's going to be a lot more checks, and so this is going to probably take some time. Oh, nope, it didn't. It just deleted that left side. It happened pretty fast too, so that's a good sign. But it just deleted it. Did it get print at 40 then? Maybe it just got printed at 40. It hit 40 and it was like, oh, we're done. It did hit at 40. Oh, okay, that's good. All right, so that works, and it seems to be pretty fast. So yeah, I think we'll go on from there. This seems to be working, and now that it seems to be pretty fast. what we can do is just build a bridge like this, and then we know exactly how the distance between all of our um, pillars, the support beams, the support, I don't know where they are. Um, I need to learn my bridge terminology, so that way we can make them symmetrical every time and make it look nice. I wonder though. I don't know if we can do that. So I think what's going to happen is that every single time we're going to be starting from the edge here and going on to the, up to 10 blocks off on here, which that kind of stinks. It would be nice if we can center it in the river, but now I'm asking maybe too much, huh? How can we center it in the river? If we can find a way to center it in the river, I won't need to do all these checks anyway. Because then I'll know. No, I bet you can find a way to find the center of the river without actually knowing the distance. There likely is. I wonder how the radial check scanner works. Hmm. I could actually change this second check too. Even though I have it being not a water check anymore, maybe what I can do is check, because now I know how long it is. I can check, I don't know, um, well, if I have a too big of a cube though, it's gonna be the bigger the cube is, the more blocks it has to look at, which probably will slow it down. So maybe this is good enough. It's good enough. We can work on perfect later, yeah? Let's just get it into existence. A good Hytale way. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. It is getting late. It's 1:30 now. Oh my gosh, it's 1:30. All right, I need to go. I need to eat lunch and do stuff. Thank you all for joining me, though. I hope you enjoyed my adventure with dynamic bridges. I think we're actually going to get it done next week. Over the weekend, I should definitely try to build more stuff. We have 4 weeks. That's it, 4 weeks, and then we're done. And then I have to hand this in and hope and pray that they are looking at this going, well, this is really cool. All right, well, thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you on Tuesday. I hope. I don't think I'll have any issues.